You know, I really wish I didn't have to make another video on this. I honestly thought Parrot just made a couple bad episodes and that's it. Like, yeah, maybe the next episode isn't gonna be perfect, but it's definitely gonna be better than this. But honestly, Parrot's newest video might be one of the worst unstable episodes of all time. Calling Parrot's newest video flawed would be an insane understatement. I mean, this is honestly terrible writing, it makes literally no sense. But before I get into the meat of this video, I'm gonna have to do a little recap for people who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about. The Unstable SMP is a scripted Minecraft SMP that has 4 protagonists, and it focuses more on being a story rather than being your usual Minecraft SMP. I'll be mostly talking about Parrot in this video, which is only one of the 4 protagonists. Now, you don't have to know everything for this video to make sense, since I'll be mostly focusing on the final battle and the events that follow. After Parrot became the king of Unstable, there was a huge surge in new players that entered the server. And these new players started taking up resources like food, which caused the old players to starve. The old players got mad at Parrot for bringing in this huge amount of new players, so they gathered up under the team called Cindercrest, which are led by Saprata, and they wanted to revolt against Parrot's kingdom. This resulted in multiple battles between Cindercrest and the kingdom, and eventually Cindercrest gets an opportunity. This opportunity comes in the form of Lettuce K. Lettuce K was the former king of Unstable. He ruled over the kingdom of Spawn with an iron fist, and they hoped that Lettuce K would unite the old players, convincing them to join Cindercrest's army. While all of this is happening, the Arachnid Kingdom, which is a team that were allied with Cindercrest, were quietly betraying them. All of this culminates in a 3-way battle between the kingdom, Cindercrest, and the Arachnid Kingdom's strongest warrior, Wimbu. So far, everything has been going pretty well writing-wise, but this is where the quality honestly takes a dip. While this battle is taking place, Saprata, the leader of Cindercrest, starts talking about how, "Oh my god guys, Parrot is actually the bad guy, guys, trust me bro."
Players of the Unstable SMP, this is your last warning. If Parrot stays as king, he will keep letting new players flood this server, while the rest of you pay for it. But I've changed my mind. If you're a new player, I'll spare you. You weren't the mistake. You were the consequence. So now, I'm going to go and finally shut off Spawn. But before you try and stop me, all I ask is for you to remember who actually made this server suffer. Who the actual enemy is.
After this, for literally no reason, Parrot's army starts betraying him? If you don't realize how dumb this is, imagine if you just beat me to a pulp, like I'm bleeding on the side of the street type of beating. And then I start saying, "Oh, I will spare you." Like, do you realize how stupid this is? And that's not even mentioning that Saprata is the person who's trying to kill them this whole time. Like, there's literally zero reason to believe a single word that Saprata is saying. And he's not even threatening. By this point, he has already lost his whole army. After this, Parrot goes to Spawn to confront Saprata, but then Parrot is forced to run because he was too low on supplies. And here is the crazy part. Saprata declares himself as king? This literally makes no sense. Both Parrot and Lettuce K, the former kings of the server, had to go through hell and back just to become king. Parrot had to get thousands of votes, and Lettuce K took over the server with thousands of players. But all Saprata did was just say, "I'm king," and then he became king. Now remember, this guy has nothing to his name.
All of the items that you stashed back there, we fully destroyed. That's the only way that you were going to be able to gear up all of the old players on the server.
All of his supplies got destroyed and all of his people are dead. Yet somehow I'm supposed to believe that him saying "I'm the king of the Unstable SMP" is supposed to just cancel that out? I mean, when Parrot became the king of Unstable, he didn't get an army out of thin air, so why would Saprata? I'm honestly surprised that no one's talking about how dumb this writing is. I guess it does make sense because most people who watch Unstable are probably kids, but it's still kind of surprising. One of Parrot's main allies is a player called ReinaDrop, or just Reina for short. I won't go too much into detail about this character, but the main criticism I have about them is that it feels completely artificial. The way she delivers lines is insanely robotic. If you told me Reina's voice was a voice changer or text-to-speech, I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't like to call things cringe because I do kind of believe that anyone should be able to enjoy anything within reason, but her flashback scene was honestly just cringe.
Go away, we don't want you here.
If we see you again, we're gonna ban you.
You don't deserve to play in this server.
Not only that, but her backstory feels insanely generic, like everything about this character feels so forced. What I mostly want to talk about is why would Parrot even take the Lettuce K deal? Again, for those who don't know, Saprata kidnapped Reina in order to extort Parrot into giving him Lettuce K. Now the reason I think this is dumb is because releasing Lettuce K could and would lead to thousands of deaths. And Reina literally offered to die just so Saprata wouldn't get his hands on Lettuce. But no, Parrot just has to make the deal and risk thousands dying. In this section, I'm gonna be naming a couple things that are flaws but aren't big enough to get their own chapter. Firstly, why is Parrot so broke? I'm not even joking. Parrot is like the weakest person in his own army most of the time. Half the time he doesn't even have golden apples, and when he does, he carries like 16 to 48. He never carries any ender pearls. I can only remember 2 times within season 3 where he actually wore full netherite armor. His lowest soldier probably has more gear than he does, like half the time. Obviously I am exaggerating to an extent, but you get what I'm trying to say. Secondly, Parrot always gets himself in very heated situations with people, and while other protagonists usually deal with it by running away from it or fighting it, Parrot somehow just talks himself out of every situation.
If you join us, and you join our army, you will have so much more than you have now. But I'm gonna make things right.
Okay. We'll join your army.
Guys, Fort Feather has fallen. I need messengers
King
sending
Parrot, we see that you and your legion have lost the battle of Fort Feather. Any funny games, and I'm blowing up everything in this radius. Listen, King Parrot, unless you can give us a reason to fight Cindercrest here, we will have no choice but to kill you, or to detain you and turn you over to Cindercrest's army. Nothing to say, huh? Alright. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Say something, bro.
5.
When is this ever going to end? If we don't beat Cindercrest, when is this going to end? If Cindercrest wins, not only are tens of thousands of new players going to die, but whoever's left is always going to have to live in a world where there's never enough food to go around. They're going to have to live in a world where people die for no reason. That's what this server was always like, and that's why I became king. Because I wanted to change it myself.
Alright. Stand down, everybody.
Stop fighting! Theo, Reina, please stop! What is gonna happen? Saprata takes over the server with Lettuce? And then what? You guys just let Lettuce out of prison.
We fought a whole war to stop Lettuce, remember that? What are we even doing here, actually? No, that's a
Do
good
you remember
point.
what the server was like when Lettuce ruled over it?
Look, I understand, bro, that if Lettuce and Sabs rule the server is horrible, right? But at the same time, look what happened after you became king. Everyone's starving. Bandits just roam the server. All these random kingdoms formed to try and, like, I don't even know, take over.
No, Flame is right, dude. Ever since you became king, no one is safe. You ruined it for everyone.
And, like, I hate to even just care about this, but, like, he's right. Like, he is right at the end of the day.
I know! I know how bad it's gotten, bro. I know I failed so many people. And I know that I'm the one to blame for all of this. Deep down, if you genuinely think that killing me is gonna accomplish anything, then just do it right now.
While this isn't inherently bad, the frequency that it happens is simply absurd. Like almost every episode he gets himself in a situation where it seems like the only possible outcome is either getting captured or killed, and then he manages to talk them down in the lamest way possible. I think this speaks to the bigger issue of insane plot armor, like how Parrot somehow didn't get maced by Shubidi when he was literally the freest kill ever. In conclusion, I really hope Parrot fixes these flaws within his videos. I'm a really big Unstable fan after all, so I really just want it to be better. I really didn't expect to make this video because I thought Parrot's bad writing could have just been a fluke. That is pretty much all I had to say, so have a good day.